The Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of people thought they were going to add Chris Godwin because of the Liam Coen connection. But I think a lot of people just understand they need to add another pass catcher. And right now, it's Brian Thomas who's great in that room, and then a bunch of pretty good guys. De'Ami Brown, pretty good. Gabe Davis, yeah, he has a few deep catches. Parker Washington showed some stuff in a few games last year. Brenton Strange, the tight end, maybe something there. He looked all right. But they need some difference makers because right now it's Brian Thomas and some serviceable guys. So I don't think they should hit it in the first round. That number 5 pick, I mean, whether you're going O line, D line, I personally think you should go O line. I think Mason Graham's more of a 3 technique. And I think Eric Armstead's already in that 3 technique spot there. And so I'm not sure that he would give you the value you're expecting. I think Will Campbell would be a great pick with that 5 spot. But once you get to the second round and you have the 36th pick, it really seems like some receivers are going to drop out of the first round. Not totally sure who those receivers are going to be that drop out of the first round. I think it's going to depend on just team preferences. But I've seen many people saying that Luther Burden could drop out of the first round. And he was such a nice surprise for me. He reminds me of Antonio Brown. He really does, the way he moves. And he's aggressive. He's just sharp in his movements. If you try and arm tackle him, he's running right through you. He's a thick dude. It was really, really impressive. I think he walks into any team that needs a number 2 receiver and just immediately becomes that number 2 receiver. He can make things happen with the ball in his hand. He can, he's got speed to go deep. A little raw. He's also a bit of an emotional player. I think he got, at least in the cut up I watched, it was like 2 consecutive penalties for like unsportsmanlike or something. So like he's a bit emotional. They were down a lot to A&M, and I think they were supposed to beat A&M, and it was okay. But you also see it on the good side where he is getting hyped after big plays, and he is lowering his shoulder and trying to run through people. So love to see that. If the Jaguars could get Luther Burden in the second round, that would be an incredible pickup for them. And then in the third round with the 70th pick, and really they have the 70th and the 88th pick. This kind of depends on what you're hearing from other teams about where they're valuing players. Because right now, Gunnar Helm is going a little under the radar, especially because I think he ran about a 4.9 at the combine. And then afterwards, he came out and said, like, yeah, I kind of sprained my ankle on the first get off and, just, finished it anyway. So, okay, I'm going to give him a little leeway for that, especially because on the film, he can run. Like he's not a superstar. He's not running a 4.4, 4.5 or anything, but he can run. It's not a problem. And he seemed to be just a very natural. Like he had real good contact balance. The thing I kept coming back to was that I thought his ceiling was going to be Kittle. And I'm not ready to say he's going to be Kittle, but just the way he would run, and also the catches he would go up for, he definitely showed that courage and concentration, physical after the catch. He really, I think he got overshadowed by those receivers. I think that 40 time with that sprained ankle really hurt him. Gunnar Helm, I have him as my 3rd tight end right now. I think he's really underrated, and I think by year 2 he could be a good starter for you.